welcome to Rick Snip and the Cool Kids. I'm your host, Rick Snip, and we got a great show for you tonight. It is currently 1:49 a.m. and I think we got a really good show for you guys. I'm really excited about what the future is going to hold. I got a new sketchbook today. I've been drawing a lot of ideas. Still in the brainstorming stages for the other creative project, but it is coming along. I've got a very nice Word document full of notes and outlines for how I want to start the series and sort of how I want to format it. I think the biggest obstacle really is starting it in earnest. Like most things, the most difficult part is actually just getting around to do the damn thing. Whether it's working out or starting a diet or, learning an instrument, just any new skill or personal endeavor. It's just difficult to finally, put your foot on the gas and go somewhere. I think something that's been really useful in making those first steps is getting okay with being bad. It's my first time genuinely trying to write a story for something that wasn't for school in years, and so there's a very good chance it won't be good. A really, really, really good chance it will not be good. And, you just have to get out of your own head. Because if you start obsessing about how everything can go wrong and how everything can, how bad of a job you can do, then you're just gonna not get around to do it. It's very safe to, it's very easy to talk yourself out of doing something because you're afraid you're gonna do it wrong or, saying out, putting it off until you have, the perfect idea or until you have, the perfect solution for everything. It's all perfectly crisp, and that's just not how creativity works. You have to work at it, you have to suck a little bit, and then you get better slowly and incrementally, and so that's what I'm working on. What you want really is the discipline to keep working so that you have something to edit and work off of and improve, whether or not you actually think it's the best thing you've ever written. Because you could always edit or rewrite something or change it and then fix it. And then you take something that you honestly thought was kind of bad and you turn it into something amazing. And so that's what I've tried to do. I'm trying to get out of my own way and just not be afraid of sucking for a little while until I get good, and hopefully you guys will bear with me as I go through this tumultuous time and try and figure things out. Podcast is still going through a lot of name changes. Right now we're at Rick Snip and the Cool Kids. Aaron hasn't changed the Twitter yet because he doesn't know how. That's fine, I'll change it for him. But we'll probably skip around on a few names. I have a theme song that doesn't say the name of the old podcast in it, so that's very helpful that I have that. And I'm just trying to make sure I can move forward. My dad called me a few days ago and he told me about this lady at his job who has who knows someone who works at UCLA as a police officer, and she basically said oh, if your son's interested in becoming a police officer for the campus, let me know, because I can get him into the academy for free, and then he can just work there and police the school. And it sounds like a pretty sweet gig, and apparently if I do that, I can also go to UCLA for about half off. So it's something I've started to consider, whether or not I want to do that, and then in my free time pursue more creative endeavors, or if I want to just, because I would have to stop school now or at the end of this semester, and then go to the police academy for 6 months, and then work at the school, which, honestly doesn't seem that bad. And it's a pretty decent paying gig. I think you do get full benefits as a police officer. I don't know if you have full benefits. I know you get a pension, but you do get dental and healthcare. I think might not be the best, but you have it. And I think starting salary was $73,000 a year. So it's definitely something I've been considering for the past few days. And so, yeah, that's kind of what I'm just thinking about. A few days ago, I also went to this haunted forest. It's apparently haunted. I went during the day. I didn't go at night because you're not allowed to go there at night, which is probably what's going to make it even more fun when I eventually do go at nighttime. But not only is it haunted, apparently there is a legitimate cult that lives in or around the forest that people have seen and have been chased around and chased by and accosted while they were trespassing in the park late at night. So that's something I definitely want to see, because that seems really, really freaky and interesting. I don't know what it is about cults that's so fascinating. I think it's fascinating how people's desire to belong to something will drive them to just insane places, people do crazy things so that they can fit in, and on the face of it, what cults really offer to people isn't spiritual. It's a lot more emotional and psychological. Some people really need to belong to something that they feel is greater than themselves. They like to belong to a group or an organization, and they're very susceptible to fitting in. And the thing about cults that make them so dangerous is the power that one person can get from so many people needing to fit in. And if you run the economy of who fits in and who doesn't, you sort of get to monopolize all the power socially. And so you can get people to do things they wouldn't normally do, or go along with things that they would, in the outside world, on the face of it, abhor and think are genuinely bad things. But they're so desperate to belong to something that they sort of they throw their personal beliefs and qualms to the wind. I'm gonna turn down New Girl because they're yelling on New Girl, and I don't want you guys hearing it. Netflix is already raising the price because some of you dweebs were crying about them not having friends anymore. Meh. I don't want them to raise the price again because people are listening to the shows for free using podcasts, because I was too lazy to turn the TV off. I'm not lazy. I like having it on while I do it. It's nice to have some background noise. It's weird to hear yourself talk for a really long time and hear no one else talk back. I saw that movie, Glass, and the Unbreakable trilogy is a solid fucking it's a really good trilogy. It's a really good trilogy. I think M. Night Shyamalan, people were split on the reviews for it, but honestly, it's a pretty solid film. All the performances are really, really good, and the way the movies are tied to one another are M. Night Shyamalan did the thing again. He did. What a twist. I audibly said that when I saw what the big twist reveal was in the theaters, and I was like, wow, that's a twist. That's not something. And I found myself rooting for characters I, honest to God, didn't think I was going to root for in the movie. So, it's even more interesting how he managed to get me to root for characters that, on the face of it, from the trailer, are the antagonist. And then there's this is a kind of spoiler, there's an even bigger antagonist revealed at the very end of the movie, and you're just so taken aback by what this person does, that you you find yourself immediately rooting for, like, everybody who's in opposition to them. So, it's a pretty good flick. I think more people should see it. And the reviews shouldn't, reviews, you can trust reviews sometimes, but sometimes people, like, get up their own ass about reviewing and critiquing things. I think people, especially in the film business, are, like, very quick to, what's the word? They're very quick to drag other things down in an effort to look smart. Is basically what I want to say. I think it's like a really weird phenomenon, but, like, basically it's very easy to tear things down than it is to build them up, and, like, strictly enjoying movies just for the sake of, like, fucking liking them and enjoying them has become just a little bit underrated lately. Like, not everything needs to be a cinematic masterpiece. Some things can just be fun to watch. Like, Pacific Rim is such a fun fucking... Like, the series is so cool, and it's so fun to watch. I genuinely enjoy Pacific Rim, like, a lot. It's, like, one of my favorite movie series, because it's just so, like, big. And it's, like, robots versus monsters. And it's just so... Like, even if it sounds a little corny, it's like a very much genre film, but it's, like, good. It's, like, good, because it's, like, yeah, like, you get to just enjoy it. You don't have to, like, question a whole bunch of stuff. It's just kind of cool. Like, you get to watch a physical spectacle for 2 hours. That's, like, some crazy magical shit you would never see in real life, so... I feel like that should definitely go into account for reviews, not like... The second act and the third act did not flow together as well as the first act and the second one. People are so pretentious sometimes, and it's just annoying. Like, I'm doing an article, and it sounds way more important than it is. It's not like a real article. There's a website called Medium where you can write stories and articles, and post as many as you want, as much as you want. Basically for the free skis, which is cool, very interesting. But if people like your articles and start to click on them and they blow up and they get really interested in them, you can actually start to make money. So it's like it's a freelance writing forum, which is really interesting. So I'm, like, currently in the process of, like, doing an article about, like, how reality TV is actually, like, conceptually very, very smart television, and it's sort of modeled kind of like how casinos are. Like, you don't think casinos, like, a lot of people don't think of casinos as being, like, cleverly run businesses, but they're, like, really, really, really fucking smart businesses. It's, like, a phenomenal business model, because, like, if you just get regulars, you're set, and you almost never have to pay out. And even if you do, more people are going to come in and line your pockets anyway. It's just so smart. And so the way I compare reality TV to, like, casinos is, like, it's the same way, like, if you look at the real world, no one on the real world is allowed to make money from their appearance on the real world. No matter how interesting or outgoing or, like, insane they are on the show, no matter how much they boost the ratings for the show, they don't get any extra money or anything, any compensation for it. They don't get royalties. They don't get paid for the use of their likeness. All of that gets signed away when they're on the show, which is insane. But, like, one show that managed to break the mold is Jersey Shore, because on Jersey Shore they didn't change out who was going to be in the house after every season. It was the same group of kids every single season, and because of that, the people in the house were able to establish themselves as commodities and as brands. And so Snooki's been in different television shows, movies, dozens of talk shows, and she's probably created some sort of lifestyle brand that I haven't looked into. And her and JWoww got their own reality show following them and their business endeavors. Like, the situation's going to jail for tax evasion. Like, I think Vinny started his own business. DJ Pauly D's like a very prominent DJ now. I think the only one who didn't really do anything is like Ronnie, because he's an alcoholic and he hates his life. But yeah, like they were able to turn themselves into legitimate, at least B-list celebrities for a good amount of time because they were on the show for so long. And that was the first time the house realized, like, oh, if we have people coming back, yes, the show does do better, but we control the characters a lot less. Or not so much that we control them a lot less, we have to start paying them more. And it's just easier to like cycle through a bunch of kids whose likeness you don't have to use, who you don't have to pay to come back, who are essentially expendable and disposable. And so they bring in a bunch of people who are single, young, don't have a whole lot of family members, and tell them, hey, if you do this, you can stay in a really cool house and do this really cool experience. You get to be on TV, but you don't really get anything out of it aside from, like, you were on this cool thing once. And then also there's, like, and that's just, like, the 7 people in a house type thing. That's just, like, the real world. There's other things, there's other types of reality TV shows where you wouldn't think they would need to be staged, or you wouldn't think, like, that producers would think to fake this or add more drama to it, but, like, the house, like, a lot of those House Hunter shows, I found out, like, because I was doing research for the article, that a lot of them go into the show knowing which house they're going to buy, so that there's less surprise, and so that the producers can do more to it. And I didn't think that that's something that they would think to do. It seems like such an innocuous show that they wouldn't need to stage it, but, like, the more you look into it, the more you realize it's sort of like, I don't want to say conspiracy, because it's not like they're really, like, it doesn't feel like they're trying to trick you. It just seems like they're adding more content to their program so that it's more watchable. It's just sort of like a heel turn in WWE. Like, a lot of reality TV shows are like really weird slice of life WWE skits. So instead of like suplexes and like body slams, it's like a couple will fake a fight over a house they already know they're going to buy. Or like the producer, like, it's so weird that the producers tell people to make more of a fit than they should, so that the show has more drama. Because it's so fun, because these are just regular people, they're not actors. They're just people buying houses, and then they get to be on TV, and now they have to, like, play a role. And I think it's really fascinating how people are so ready to, like, play that role once they know that there's a camera. Like, people love being being the dramatic, bitchy person on, like, The Fixer-Upper with Chip and Joanna Gaines, or, the Property, like, being the dramatic person on Property Brothers. It doesn't seem like something most people would want to do, but, like, in an interview they were talking about, like, people are always trying to, like, play to the camera and, like, add more drama and, like, make the reactions even bigger. And it's just weird how people, when you put them on the spot like that, like, their natural reaction is to, like, be very campy. I don't want to say campy, that's not the right word. Very theatrical about how they behave. I think that's really cool. What else have I been doing lately? Saw a movie, went to a haunted forest. Yeah, the website that I'm gonna be writing stuff for is Medium, and anyone can do it. It's seriously, like, it's not like a real job. It's very, very, very much freelance, but it's cool. I'm really interested in it, and I'm gonna try and, like, set a system so that, like, I can churn out at least one sort of article or whatever a month, and I guess I'll, like, tweet them or post them, like, hey, check this out, or hey, check this out. But yeah, like, so once I start posting those, I'll send them to you guys. But yeah, it'll be a good, like, writing exercise. I'll be able to just practice, and then, you know, get better. So that'll be cool. I still haven't come up with a title for what the the other project's gonna be. I'm still working on that one. But yeah, I'm still very much dabbling with the theme. Also, another thing that like always gets me caught up whenever I'm writing is like, I feel like I'm writing something I've read before. And like a lot of the times I'll come up with an idea and then I'll stumble across something where it's like, oh, this sounds exactly like my idea. Did I get influenced by this before, or will this influence my idea going further? Like, will this taint it, and like everything I do, like it makes me want to second guess all the choices I make, because cause like, oh, is this something from the book? Am I taking from it, or is this like actually my idea? And so that's something that's always messing with me. But no, yeah, like I found out about Alice Isn't Dead after I came up with the premise for my other thing, and I was like, ah, shit, this is exactly what I wanted to do. Like, this is literally exactly what I wanted to do, and they did a really good job of it, and now I feel bad. And so like, that caused me to like not spiral, but like it definitely made it harder to start, because I was like, oh, am I gonna be stealing from them? It made me want to not listen to that podcast anymore, even though I really do like it and it is good. It just was like, the more I listen to this, the more I'm gonna want to steal from it. And it's not like I want to, I just don't want to like subconsciously or unconsciously take ideas from somewhere else, you know, like with Ariana Grande and Soulja Boy. I don't want the Night Vale people calling me a thief via Twitter. Speaking of, a lot, we joke a lot, but Soulja Boy, he's making a lot of sense, and that's weird. And like, a lot of people are like, what is Soulja Boy's influence? But like, I think he was one of the first like big dance song rappers or whatever since the Cha-Cha Slide, or like the Electric Slide, or like the Wobble. Like, and I don't even know when the Cha-Cha Slide came out, but like, I know like after Soulja Boy, there was like You a Jerk, Teach Me How to Dougie. There's like jerking, Dougieing, Nene, with like all of those things sort of started with Soulja Boy. I feel like, for my memory, which isn't very good, but as far as I can remember, like, it was Soulja Boy and then all those other people, you know? And so he does have sort of like an influence, because that was like a whole other subgenre of rap that started off where like your whole song is just the dance you've created and you keep going. And what was smart about his dance is like his rap moniker is the name of the dance. Watch you crank that, Soulja Boy. Is not that, dat. Watch you crank dat, so it's a D. If you're wondering, it's a D. Crank it, dat, Soulja Boy. But like, yeah, you're saying his rap name when you do the dance. Also, the song still bangs. It's like a banger. So like that and Kiss Me Through the Phone. Like, some of his songs go pretty hard. I wonder, like, the promo, like, and then he was like one of the first people to get on LimeWire, and like LimeWire was weird, so like he could save his songs under other people's songs. So he would change the name to like whatever big song that was popular, and then he would put his song on it. Like, it would be the file for his song, and then people would try and download these new ones, and then they would get his song, and then they'd get put on the Soulja Boy. Sleeper Cell style? Like, I don't know. He was pretty tech savvy when LimeWire was a thing. I don't know how much he's progressed, but like, the influence, like, I don't know. I think he was on the train before a lot of other like labels and industry people were. And now like all music is like streamed online, so it's like, even, you know, it's like it's not like he was like he didn't create it, but he was like at the time he was a pretty big rapper to be doing it. So, you know, take from that what you will. Also, when I went to see Glass, I went to see it with a friend from work, and like right after the movie ended, like right as we walked out of the theater, his girlfriend called him and was like, "Hey, do you want to go see a movie? Let's go check out that movie Glass. It looks really good." And like every time he would say something, it would be like, "Oh, no way, she's not gonna say let's go see a movie. Oh, no way, it's not like she's gonna say let's go see the same movie we just saw. Oh, no way, there's no way she's gonna say it at the same theater." And it was all that stuff, and it was just incrementally more and more funny, and it was just funny. They wound up not seeing it because he didn't. But like when he was on the phone, he didn't tell her like, "I literally just left the theater with Daryl," which is fine. Which is cool, but yeah, no, it was really funny. But yeah, I had a chill time hanging out. Yeah, yesterday with some lads from work, we did baseball. We didn't have a full game or anything, but we did like batting practice and fielding practice, which was cool. I pitched. I threw out my arm pitching, and now my arm feels like a bunch of 8th graders beat me with quarters, with socks full of quarters, and that's fun. I wish more of you guys liked my gross tweets, to be honest, because some of them are really funny. Some of them are really fucking funny, and you guys are like, "No, I don't want to interact with that. It's not funny. It's gross." It's like, listen, can't like the tweet that was calling me gross and not like my tweet, because that means you saw it and you know it was funny. So what I'm thinking for the other podcast is that it's probably going to be around 20 minutes. Yeah, it'll probably be around 15 to 20 minutes per episode. Very short. I don't want it to be super long. Like I said, if it is a book, each episode should be a chapter. So like, some of them might end on some really weird cliffhangers, and updating it is going to be a little bit sporadic. But since it's going to be like, I think just me on the show, because it'll be probably a little like a mix of like second and first person. So like, I'll be like, you do this and this. I don't know. I've been thinking about whether or not I want to do second or first person, because I don't want to be like, and then Derek opened the door, and at the other side of the door he saw his sister. Like, no, because that's reading a book. No, I want the listener to be a part of the story in a way, you know, like you're listening to it firsthand. Even if you're not the intended audience, you're still part of the audience. So yeah, I'm still doing a lot of brainstorming right now. I'm thinking well, right now I'm probably thinking, I just came up with an idea where it's like the last, not the last, but like the last guy on Earth. It's like apocalypse or whatever, and he's just sort of like broadcasting to people. And he's like talking about his day, warning people about where not to go, because of like he's exploring the new landscape of like scorched earth. I guess that was an idea I literally just had like a second. I thought of it on the spot, and I like that. I might run with that. Don't hold me to it. Do not hold me to it, because I might change my mind. But yeah, I really do like post-apocalyptic stuff and like scavenger stuff. So like, he's like telling any other survivors out there, like, oh, here's what I encountered today, here's what I saw, here's what I did. Just because he gets really obsessed with like leaving a record, like, because he feels like it's important, because he doesn't even know if there's anyone else left. There'll be other people. They will not be directly on it. You'll hear about those other people, but yeah, so don't hold me to that, but that sounds like a really cool idea. And so that's pretty much how I come up with all my creative ideas. I just sort of like, oh, cool, here's a spark of a thread that just came to me, and I like try to conceptualize it and see how I could make it work. And then if I can see a way to make it go from point A to point B in an interesting way, then I just sort of launch myself into it. So tomorrow I'll probably do like a lot of concept art for it in my sketchbook. And that's not for, like, people to see. It'll probably just be so, like, I can just, in my own mind, I'll have, like, a clear idea of what the character's seeing and, like, what they're interacting with. And so I can describe it better, too, because if I just say, the thing with the thing, it had, like, this many things. Like, I don't want to be vague. I want to be very, very descriptive. I want it to be good. I want it to be something people want to listen to. And so, yeah, that'll be interesting. That'll be fun. I really do. I think that's probably what I'm going to do tomorrow. I might get my brother's Xbox One fixed, because I think he just left it on the floor and our dogs peed on it. Which is frustrating, but I'm going to take it to a repair shop if it's open. Yeah, so I'm probably going to work on that other thing. Hopefully I can get out of the house to get a haircut. And then, if the shop's open, yeah, I'll pay someone to repair it. Maybe get my phone fixed too. And then, if there's any time, hit the batting cages. Because I really do love baseball. I miss playing it. Such a fun game. Also, I think I've gotten better. Like, I'm not afraid of the ball anymore like I was when I was a kid. So now I'm, like, very okay with batting. Like, I'm an alright batter. I mean, if you throw really, really fast, I probably won't hit it. But, I could definitely bat a little bit. Oh, man, I chipped my guitar right on the top. Oh, it's a bummer. You know, not every episode has to be an hour long. But, you know what? I might cut it off here, because I'll save this. And then I'll get someone on the podcast that I want to talk to. And I'll just record, like, an intro for that. Like, just a little snippet of intro before that. So this is where I'm going to cut it off before the intro for whoever I'm interviewing. And now, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome... And now, ladies and gentlemen, welcome a longtime friend of the show, one of my best friends, Aaron Cadell.
Hey everybody, what's up? Great to be back on the show, Daryl. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, no problem, man. Yeah, it's been a while since you've been on the show, but, you know, it's always great to have you on the podcast. You are a big part of what this show is. And you always will be, you know, one of the co-hosts, but I get that you're busy and things come up, so you're not as readily able to release episodes. And
well, thanks a lot, man. I appreciate your understanding.
Yeah, no problem. So, how have things been going for you? What's up with you?
Not much. Down in Riverside now, living closer to school. Pretty different. Big change. Lots of difficult classes. Hardly any time to do anything I actually want to do.
Mm-hmm.
Same old. How about you?
Okay. Recently, I don't know, like, all day today, I've been watching a lot of Marie Kondo. The lady who wrote that book, like, sparked joy. Like, she created the whole sentiment, like, does this spark joy for you? It's about tidying up and, like, getting rid of all the clutter and stuff in your life. And so, basically, I've spent, like, pretty much the entire day reorganizing my room and making it, like, decluttered and nice.
That's on Netflix?
Yeah, it's on Netflix. It's pretty tight.
What's it called again?
Tidying Up with Marie Kondo.
Sick, bro.
Yeah. And also, I think I found a thing that I might be interested in.
A new thing?
Yeah, it's more of like a school thing.
That?
So my dad called me a few days ago and told me that he has a connection with this lady who, like, works in the police department over at UCLA. And so basically, they could get me into the police academy for cheap or free or whatever. And then I would be a cop at the college. And then I could go to UCLA
Really?
for half off. Yeah.
That's insane, dude. That's a good bargain.
Yeah, so that's sort of what I've been thinking about doing. I think over summer is probably when I'm gonna I think about halfway through summer, I'm gonna like move down there and try and
But
do
what
that.
if your credits don't like transfer?
I'm still going to one of the most applied to universities, half off, and I'll be making adult money, so it will not matter.
You're right.
They said this starting salary is like $73,000.
How are you gonna have
Yeah.
time to do school?
And, like, I looked it up, and
having
you-
like a full-time job like that.
Because I'll go to school part-time. But also, it's like you've seen the campus cops, right? Like, all they do is either write tickets or tell drunk kids to
I've
relax.
only seen them in cars. I've never actually seen one like in the flesh.
Yeah, so they don't really
I've
do
literally
anything.
not seen them do a damn thing.
Yeah, so like that's sort of chill, and also I don't know, it's a decent amount of money, and if I do good, I can help people, and also you get paid a pretty decent salary while you're in the academy.
Wow.
Like I think you make like 60 grand while you're
It
doing
doesn't
the
cost
academy.
money to do the academy?
No, you have to pay a tuition, I think, but like you still get paid a salary while you're doing
That's
it.
weird. You give them money, they give you money.
Because you're doing work, I think. Yeah, you're doing work, so they can't just make you do
Oh.
it for free. Yeah. And so yeah, it's like a 6-month thing, and then you make big boy
That's sick,
dollars.
dude. I hope that works out for you.
Yeah. And so I've decided to like switch over to the community college
Oh,
instead
really?
of my real college. Yeah, for this semester, just because it's like cheaper and easier, and I can do like a class I'm actually interested in.
That's sick, dude.
Yeah. So that's sort of what I've been getting into. I've also been working on the other podcast that I've been talking about for a while.
Oh, you've been working on it?
Yeah, I've been writing like a bunch of stuff for it. I'm about to start like doing the first episode.
That's sick, dude. You should send me some of the stuff you've written.
Okay. Yeah, it's just sort of, yeah, it's very like story driven, and it's taken a lot of different shapes. Like at first I wanted it to be like he's like broadcasting, like the main character's broadcasting from like a radio station, but now I've sort of changed it to where like they're doing like an audio diary, sort of like how people leave holotapes in Fallout 4 or Fallout 76. Like they just sort of leave them behind for like record.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like that's sort of how I'm gonna be framing how people are getting the story, and so it's just gonna be him like talking about what he did that day to survive and what he encountered, and like his journey through the wasteland or whatever, so we can try and find
So
his
it's gonna
family.
be like post-apocalyptic. Here, edit this out, Joe. Post-apocalyptic.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
I've been spending the last few days.
And I've been spending the last few days trying to figure out what the apocalypse was, because I'm not into zombies. I don't feel like doing zombies.
Overdone.
So I've been thinking like, do I want to do like a virus, or do I want to do like aliens, or do I want to do like mutants? Like, just what specifically is it that like ended the world? Hello?
Daryl.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes, Aaron?
That sucks.
No, you're not here.
Daryl. Oh, are we back?
You can't hear me.
Are we back? Hello.
Oh, you're back. Okay, cool.
Daryl.
What's up, dude? I can hear you. I could hear you the whole time. Yeah, what's up? Yes, what's up?
Daryl?
Can you hear me?
Hello? Hello?
Yes, I
Daryl?
can hear you.
You can hear me?
Nope, he can't. Yes.
Hello.
Yes, I can hear you. Aaron?
Hello.
No, he
guy.
can't. Difficulty.
Daryl.
Yes, Aaron.
Hello.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, we're back.
Yes.
Hello. You can hear everything I say, Daryl? Because I
Aaron,
can't
are you still
hear
there?
you.
Man, this is frustrating. Why can't you hear me?
Hello. I do not think you're muted.
Alright,
Oh,
check the volume then.
See, it cuts in and out. That's why I'm pretty sure you're not muted.
Okay, so it's the Wi-Fi.
Okay, so it's
Yeah.
the Wi-Fi
That was
then.
the first full sentence I've heard.
Okay.
That's frustrating.
Okay,
It's
maybe
fine.
it's
That's
better.
frustrating.
I'll try and edit
It's
most
fine.
of this
I'll
out.
edit. I'll
Okay,
try and edit
sorry.
most of this
That
out.
sounds like a nightmare.
Nah, it's fine.
You threw off my
Man, that really threw off my train of thought.
That was
Yeah,
just-
basically,
that's
I was
alright.
just. I think I was
how I
talking about
wanted
like
the world
how
to
I wanted
be
the
and how I
world
wanted
to
it
be
end.
and how I wanted it to end.
Yeah.
Like,
In the
'cause that
story
really
and like
shapes,
because that really
where it can
shapes
go.
like where it can go
For him
and
to
how
even try and
realistic it would
find
be for him to even try and find
what he is.
like where his family is.
Yeah, I think aliens would be a pretty good route. I feel like that's underused. Apocalypse.
Try and steal.
Yeah, I
a
think I
little bit
might
from War
try
of
and
the
steal a
Worlds.
little bit from War of the Worlds
I
What
really
is,
like
is that a
book
show?
and, like,
because I
Oh, it's a
really
book?
like that book and like
yeah, and like the aesthetic
yeah
of it.
and like the aesthetic of it.
Sick.
The way I have it
Basically,
set up
like
is,
the
like,
way I have
he's
it
going
set
to
up is
school,
like
very
he's
far
going to school
away,
like very far away,
like hundreds of miles
like
away from
hundreds
home,
of miles away from home
and so
when
like,
the world ends, and so like
each
he's
episode's
trying
gonna
to
be
like
him in a new
each episode's going to be him in a new
having trekked a
location,
certain
having
amount
trekked a certain
of
amount
miles
of
or whatever,
distance,
trying to get
miles or
closer and
whatever,
closer to home.
trying to get closer and closer to home.
When he gets home,
And then when he gets home,
like I don't know
he might
what,
not like
what
what
happens
like I don't
when
know
he gets home.
what happens.
Wait,
when
why
he
was
gets
he
home,
displaced?
But
He was displaced because he was at
he
school.
was displaced because he was
Oh.
at school.
Oh, so he's like college or like boarding school?
Yeah, like
college.
yeah, college.
Alright.
Yeah, and I'm just trying to decide like
Yeah,
the
and
extent.
I'm just trying to
of the
decide like
apocalypse.
the extent
would it
of
be
the apocalypse. Like,
reasonable for him
would
to
it be
just get a
reasonable for him
car
to
and
just
then
get a
drive
car and then drive
wants to go, or like
wherever he wants to go,
would he
or
have
like,
to keep switching cars?
but he'd
because,
have to
like,
keep
gas
switching
stations
cars
are
because like gas stations are all fucked up. You
I
know?
think you could definitely have him drive a car at least once, but I don't think it could be like a permanent fixture of the story. Like maybe one episode could be like a car episode.
Okay, yeah. See, that's what I was thinking.
Okay,
'Cause, like,
yeah. See, that's what I was thinking. Cause like,
it's better if he's moving.
yeah, I feel like
through
it's
all these
better
different
if he's
places,
moving through all these different
like,
places,
describing
like
how the world
describing
looks,
how the world looks,
what's
and basically like
happening. 'Cause I
what's
feel like
happening.
Like,
Because I
he's
feel
gonna
like
have to do some
he's gonna have to do some
sort of
grim
survive because
things
the
to
apoc-
sort of
like,
survive
the world
because
has
the
new
apoc
rules now
like the
because
world
of
has
these
new rules
aliens.
now because
And
of
there's
there's
also
these
people who
aliens,
are
and there's also
that
people who are
there's no,
taking advantage of the fact that there's
order.
no order
Uh-huh.
anymore.
That's sick, man. I like
You know?
your story.
Thank you.
And it,
Never
Thank
done
you.
it yet.
I haven't
well, it
done
lends
it yet.
itself really well to audio
Thank
too.
you.
That was because when you first told me about your idea, I wasn't sure how you could find something that would lend itself so well.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm cutting out.
Yeah,
Oh, no.
Oh, I'm cutting out.
yeah, it's cutting.
Oh
out.
no.
Yeah, damn, this really sucks.
Yeah, damn, this really
Wi-Fi.
sucks.
It's gonna be a bonus
Wi-Fi.
episode for the real fans, who are willing to listen
Yeah.
to all of this
Yeah.
this technical
Yeah,
difficulty.
Speaking of this show,
Oh yeah, dude. Yeah. Speaking of this
yeah,
show,
like 700
we're
downloads.
yeah, like
That's
700
pretty good. That's pretty
downloads.
cool.
Yeah, that's
pretty
very
good.
cool,
That's
dude.
pretty cool.
Congratulations.
700 downloads.
Yeah, 700 downloads, 90 something plays.
You put in a lot of work for that.
Yeah. Very excited.
Very excited.
Yeah, I'm just really looking.
Yeah, I'm just really looking forward to what the next shows. I still haven't come up with a title for it yet. I feel like I have to be like very.
I don't want to be attached to the title.
I don't want to be attached to the title. Just like I don't want to be attached to the premise, because the initial premise that I pitched to you was like very different than where I've ended up now.
So yeah, like part of it is like.
And so yeah, like part of it is like.
I
think part of the hardest thing is like trying to
over the initial
like getting over the initial idea you have and like being okay with like evolving it and changing it into something that like works even better. Because if I tried the old thing, it would have definitely like not narratively functioned very well. It would have just fallen flat.
Oh jeez Louise.
Oh jeez Louise.
Dad, it's so
I love American Dad. It's so funny.
It's no Marie Kondo, but it's still pretty.
It's no Marie Kondo, but it's
Oh
still
my
pretty.
lord.
You said
That show's funny?
What'd you say?
funny.
No, it's not funny.
It's just really like uplifting.
It's just really like
It's
uplifting, because she's like,
People's houses.
she comes
and
into
they're
these
all,
people's
like,
houses and they're all
I'm so
like,
stressed with all
oh,
this
I'm so
clutter,"
stressed
and
with
it's
all
like
this clutter and all this stuff. Like,
hoarders.
it's sort of
you know
like
how in
hoarders,
they kinda-
but
they
you know
make
how in
feel
hoarders they
bad
kind of make you feel
Yeah.
bad,
about
like the
hoarding.
person
She
feel
doesn't do
bad
that.
about
She's like,
hoarding. She doesn't
"Do
do
you like
that.
this?
She's like,
do you enjoy
do you
this?
like this? Do
Then
you
keep it.
enjoy this? Then keep it. If you
like
can't,
it,
if you don't like it, if you don't think, if you can't think of anything to do with it,
then get rid of it. If you
then get rid of it. If it does not spark joy,
let it go.
And by let it go, she normally has people donate everything. So like, they're not even just throwing everything out. A lot of their stuff just goes straight to Goodwill. So it's even more joy. It's like so relaxing and rewarding. And then she just sort of leaves and lets them do the homework, and then she shows up a week later and like, oh my god, you did so great.
Wow, what a lovely woman. Sounds like Mary Poppins.
No, she's like one of the
Yeah, no,
best.
she's like one of the best
So nice.
hosts ever. Like, she's so nice. And she
doesn't
like,
speak English,
she doesn't speak English super well.
Interpreter there.
So she has an interpreter there who's just sort of like
saying
saying a lot of the stuff for her.
Where's she from?
Japan.
Wow.
Japan.
Yeah. Recently, there was a lot of backlash.
Recently, there was a lot of backlash from like weirdos
towards her,
though,
'cause she was
from,
like,
towards her, because she
you
was
don't
like,
need to, like,
you know, you don't
hoard
need to like
books.
hoard books.
And
If
don't
you have a
read
bunch
them
of
anymore,
books
should
and you
probably
don't read them
donate
anymore,
And
you should
people are like,
probably donate them.
"You can't make me get
And
rid of
people
my
are like,
books, Marie
you can't make
Kondo.
me get rid of my
I love
books, Marie Kondo.
Books are my
I
life."
love books.
my
Books are my
gosh.
life.
And she was just like, yeah, have you seen
And
the
she was
show
just
or
like,
read
yeah,
any of my
have you
books?
seen the show
I
or
don't
read
say
any
get
of
rid
my
of
books?
everything.
I don't say get rid of everything. I say get rid of stuff that you don't need or like
Yeah.
anymore.
Yeah, it's a real good. It's very low
Yeah,
stakes.
it's a
and
real good. It's
feel-good
very low
television.
stakes and very feel-good
Nice.
television.
Married couples.
It is funny watching the
fight,
married couples
because there's always
fight,
one hoarder and one
because there's
person
always
who's
one
like,
hoarder and one person who's like,
"Life."
I guess this is my life.
Yeah, it's pretty funny.
Yeah, it's pretty funny.
But
But I don't know. This has been
from an editing standpoint, a
from an
nightmare
editing
episode,
standpoint, a
Yes, sir.
nightmare episode. But
I mean, we could always give it another try.
from a sub,
Like
But, yeah, I
tomorrow or
already have
something.
like 40 minutes.
I already have like 40 minutes of episode where it's just me,
cutoff
and then I
point where
have like a cutoff point where I introduce whoever's
Yeah.
going to be on the show.
Yeah, it changed the theme song too. So
Oh yeah, it changed the theme song too, so you're gonna
Nice.
hear a new
When I drop
theme
the next
song
episode.
Is there a
when I
jingle?
drop the next episode.
I have a jingle because I'm not
It
sure
doesn't
if
really
I
have a
wanna keep
jingle because
changing
I'm
the
not
name.
sure if I want
like
to keep
Rick
changing the
Snip and
name.
Cool
I
Kids,
like
but
Rick
don't know.
Snip and the Cool
Yeah.
Kids,
I
but
feel
I
like
don't
it's
know.
kind of long.
I feel like it's kind of long.
It's
But I still
perfect
like
for a
it.
jingle though.
I think it's a good name, but it's long.
Huh? Oh yeah.
Huh? Oh yeah.
Yeah, I got some
But
free.
yeah, I got some free public domain music. I downloaded it and then edited a little snippet that I did like, and I think it's like a good
Maybe
15 seconds, maybe.
pretty chill.
Yeah, it's pretty chill.
So you have
So-
class tomorrow, right?
You have class
Yeah,
tomorrow,
I
right?
actually have a midterm tomorrow.
Yeah, I I'm going to let you.
I'm going
get back
to
it.
let you get back to it.
Some sleep or
Let you get some sleep or study or whatever you need to
Alright,
do.
thanks,
Rehab
dude.
midterm.
It's always a blast.
But
having you on the
it's always a
Yeah,
blast. having
I
you on
feel
the show.
bad that this didn't go as well, but we can try to redo it another time when I have better internet, and hopefully I can figure out my fucking headphones, dude. What a nightmare. But yeah, I've been wanting to do an episode. I feel bad I keep blowing you off, so I'm glad we got to like kind of do one.
Nah,
It's absolutely fine.
it's absolutely fine, dude. I 100% understand and respect that you're busy.
You're like not mad
And
about
it's
me,
cool
like,
that you're like
doing
not mad about
episodes.
me like doing
Solo.
episodes.
No,
Solo
I'm not mad.
while you're busy.
I was fucking around
It's-
with you, bro.
It's super nice. Yeah, no.
Dude, just
Hello?
Dude,
Oh,
just
Owen.
Owen,
Hey, what's up?
Owen just jumped on the call.
What's up, dude? I just threw a game in Overwatch. I threw that game so hard.
Oh,
Yeah,
damn.
Oh, dude, drop a follow, please.
on Twitch, I've been following you.
On Twitch, I've
Oh,
been
no,
following
someone
you.
from my last game.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Me and Aaron were just wrapping
But
up
yeah,
the podcast.
me and Aaron were just wrapping up the
Oh, yeah?
podcast.
What was it on?
Huh? Okay.
Huh? You
What was
cut
the podcast on?
Really just
out.
Marie
Really
Kondo.
just Marie Kondo.
Marie Kondo?
I've been
What's
watching a lot
that?
of her show lately.
lady who like
She's
teaches
this
people
lady
how to,
who like
tidy
teaches
up
people how to like tidy up
their lives.
and like declutter their lives.
Oh, okay.
It's like
It's like a
quarters,
show.
but nice.
It's like
So she's,
quarters
very
but
to
nice.
people
So
and,
she's like very nice to
helps them,
people and like
organize.
helps them like be more organized and have nicer houses.
Song's a banger. I enjoy it.
It is a
So
band.
she gets people's lives together? Yeah, I need that. Can I get an amen?
Yeah, dude, I've been watching her show all day on Netflix, and I basically just like totally redid my room and organized it. Ugh.
Pixar isn't real.
Okay, I'll send some pics. Yeah, no, my room looks actually really nice. I would actually have people over in it finally.
Nice.
Yeah, so I'm gonna edit it parts where we cut out and we couldn't hear.
It's okay if you want to just redo it, Daryl.
Too much on the bandwidth, honestly. Because I'm streaming right now, too. And I did have a, I'm like dropping frames and stuff like that. So it might be too much on the bandwidth.
Wow, dick.
Oh, my bad, bro.
No,
My
I'm
bad.
kidding.
Sorry, I'm exercising my creative juices, right? My fucking bad, huh? Eat my wiener, dude.
Whoa.
Say something, you fucking pussy.
See, Daryl, this is what I have to deal with.
Bro, you say it back. Don't even trip.
Yeah, I do say it back. He's right.
I'm still
Yeah.
recording, so this is all not canon.
Okay.